Alright, we are back. It's the failed author once again with a Battlefield 3 video. Today, we are playing Rush. Kind of hard to get Rush games in the last year or so of the meta, or at least the last 6 months, which is really what I was about playing. It was like 6 months or so. I would play, like every once in a while, but when I was like, okay, I need to like archive this because they're shutting it down, really the last 6 months. And we are playing Rush on Metro. Once again, if you like Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, I don't know, classic Call of Duties, bowling videos, gun videos, go ahead and subscribe to the failed author. Comment down below if you want to see me play a specific game. Just let me know. I've been doing a lot of tier lists, or I've been wanting to do a lot of tier lists. I've done tier lists. There's certain tier lists on this channel. They always end up being like old Nintendo games. I don't know why, but it's just kind of how it works. But not today. When I was doing my archiving, I was like, I gotta get a video of every single gun. At least that was the goal. And I was trying to get one with the PDWR, which, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's kind of not great, we can make a tier list. I plan on making a tier list of the weapons for Battlefield 3. I can't have this one too favorably. And a lot of the PDWR, or the PDWs, suffer the same issue initially, is their magazine capacity is just so bad. So bad, and this one is no different. Like 20 rounds in the magazine. You're just asking for a bad time. So in the beginning here, we're gonna be farting around with a PDW-R, and then we switch to what this video is actually about, which is the AK on the assault class. And is it the AK-74? The AK-74M, or whatever it is in this game, is one of those weapons that's kind of love or hate. The community seems to have not favored it too good. But then there's like these rogue die-hard players that, thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think I find myself in that ladder. I really do like it. And it took me way too long to realize what an absolute stud McKenzie this gun was. Studs McGee. And it's too late now, obviously. But we did archive it here. And that's what's important. So we've already died once, I believe. We're going to die a few more times, unfortunately, with this PDWR before we get kind of into the thick of it. It's kind of strange about how this came about is, I was trying to get clips for the PDWR. I believe I get frustrated with it pretty early, and I think I find someone's AK-74M on, on the ground, right? And I was like, you know what? Or here it is. Somebody revived me. That's what it is. And mind you, at this point, this is not mine, right? Somebody was just being a real one. I was like, you know what? You're a medic. Let's go ahead, get you back up, soldier. On your feet, soldier. Whatever they would yell at you, in the game. And I'm like, oh, we get a kill already? Okay, that's already one more than we had with the PDWR in, 2 lives. So I guess it didn't take that long to switch over, so that's good. And, as somebody who is an AK-47 enthusiast, this is kind of one of those things where I'm like, why didn't I use this more? I guess because I get lulled into this. Like, let's be real, we're all like greedy when we play. We want to play good, and if you're playing good with something, or you remember something, especially in these older games that you were proficient with, you're like more inclined to use them. And that's kind of the situation I found myself in. Was I remember, hey, the community didn't like it, I didn't like it my first time around, so why am I going to try and rock that thing again? So here we are, dead initially from that first pickup of this weapon, and I think we go ahead and make the decision to just go, hey, it worked once, maybe it'll work twice, maybe it'll work thrice, and we're 4-1, so we're already on like a pretty decent start. And there we go, we are making the switch. And I think that was the right move. Even though Metro, maybe not the best map for something like this, but we make it work. And that's the cool thing about games like Battlefield 3. If something's working, maybe it's not the right situation or the right map or whatever the circumstances may be, but if you're proficient, and you're good with it, you can rock it. And that's the cool part about a good game. You don't feel pigeonholed into doing one thing, We're not following the cool kids just because it's working. One of the classic things in Battlefield is right there that just happened in that moment, if this audio synced up pretty good, but where you shoot someone and they're shooting you at the same time and you just happen to kill each other at the same time. There's always that like a little bit of lag, so you don't quite know what happened. It's just classic Battlefield, just straight classic. We love it. And Metro, again, another classic. map. I have, I think 3 videos scheduled, queued up at this point. So if you like Battlefield 3, remember, this is your place to find it. I don't know too many people out here posting Battlefield 3 in 2024, almost 2025. I'll have videos for 2025. I might queue some up for that, just to be like, I played Battlefield 3 in 2025, you know, even though the servers are shut up. I did that shamelessly in 2023, which feels like forever ago now, but really it's not that long ago. And, you know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Wait a minute. But I gotta say, this gun kind of slept on. And I'll go ahead and, before I make my tier list of the weapons in Battlefield 3, I'm gonna kind of do some snooping, do some archiving here, okay, and see what the community, you know, really said about certain weapons. And maybe I agree, maybe I disagree, maybe I'll break it up into a few categories. Like, I don't know if I want to do like sidearms in one. Maybe that'll be like a separate video. Well, because I definitely don't want to do, like, I don't know, maybe if somebody wants to see it. I really have my doubts, but we're starting to cook here again with the iron sights only, which is so weird because, like, for the most part the iron sights are pretty trash in this game, but these ones aren't too bad because your sight picture is really good. The recoil was a lot less than I remembered, but as far as the tier list goes, I don't want to do like shotguns, assault, engineer, or something like that. I just think kind of throw it all in one video. Maybe I will eat those words and see how long it takes me to film one, or see how many weapons are in total, and then go like, okay, I don't want to do an hour in like tier list ranking. I don't think I'm gonna do it, but I probably will end up doing, because I think it'll be fun. But that is where the state of the Battlefield 3 community. We're the few, the proud, the brave. You know, there's like none of us left. It's like very unfortunate, but it is what it is. But again, if you like it, I mean, I have videos. I did start recording Battlefield 4. I only have one clip so far. I got like a TDM, I want to say like an 18 kill game, maybe like 11 deaths with an 870. So we're starting to get there. We're starting to feel it out. We're starting to understand. I understand it now. Well, not quite really. Okay, but it's okay. It's okay. The AK-74M being one of the weapons that you just get initially is always one of those where they either really go hard, or I feel like this one, they make it the most mid. And it's okay, in my opinion, to make like that starter weapon the most mid for a couple of reasons. One, I don't like, especially the counterpart of this being the M16, is definitely one of the best weapons in the game. Why are you saying that's a bad thing? I don't think, like, obviously I don't think it's a bad thing, but what I'm trying to parlay here is I feel like the progression of leveling up to, like, let's say maybe a better weapon and not just being the starter one is a little more fun than just giving it to you right away. And yeah, like, we can argue back and forth on, you know, the validity of that, or if that actually makes a difference upon the game's, like, you know, funness, or, you know, its coolness. But what I'm getting at is, like, this is like a perfect starting weapon. Obviously, we're using it, we're doing pretty good, right? But it's not something that's totally game-breaking. Like, look at the reload of this compared to, especially an empty mag compared to the M16. It's a joke, right? Like, the M16's just like, he's got sleight of hand on, and it's like, that's the wrong game, brother. That's the wrong franchise. We ain't doing that here. But still, we're doing it. I feel like when I'm recording these, you know, I don't have the sound of the video playing, you know, obviously. So we're 14-3 at this point. You know, 14-3 in Battlefield, any Battlefield, you're doing some work. This isn't Call of Duty. There's no kill streaks, right? But the sound of this gun is something that I also really appreciated. I think it's something very underrated, where Battlefield has gotten much, much, much better and stayed at a super high level as far as the sound quality of the games and, like, really the look and the aesthetic. Again, 2042, not my favorite, but I don't really play that game, so I'm not even going to really comment on that. Talking about at least the ones I've played a lot, which was 3, 4, 1... And I mean, I'm not going to throw a hard line. I did play it, but it was okay. But as far as like the aesthetics, the sound, I love just this. It's so nice. It's so crispy. It's so crunchy. It sounds, you know, I don't like to use the word real because it's a video game, but it is more pleasant because it is trying to go for that more realistic approach. Where Call of Duty, I mean, 4, great. Modern Warfare 2, okay, like losing me a little bit. You know, World at War, great. I didn't really play too much Modern Warfare 3, but I didn't have any issue with that. And I'm not just saying, like, Modern Warfare 2 has, like, some great stuff, right? But where, I shouldn't even have said that, but where it kind of loses me is Black Ops. Some of the weapons look like toys. Some of them sounded like toys, and I didn't get it. And, like, that's all the way back in, like, 2010. That's before this game came out, right? Don't even get me started on, like, the current state of, you know, like, the visuals and sounds and the audio of the Call of Duties that are currently at. It's just like such a fall from grace, you know. it's not cool. It's not one of those things that gets me excited anymore. Where, I mean, this is from 2011, and really, like, people will tell you, like, these graphics don't hold up, and I'm here to tell you this holds up a lot better than I think people will give it credit. Again, this was being developed in 2010, comes out October 2011, so, you know, I don't know the exact development cycle of this game, but we're talking about hardware that's the PS3, the Xbox 360. Look at this looks good in my opinion, but I'm also one of those homers where people will tell you the N64 is the worst looking console ever, and it's got this problem and this and that, and I'm telling you, if you I have a CRT TV, and it's especially, like, the monitor is, like, pretty small, like the actual television, right? It's like maybe 13-20 inches around there. I haven't quite figured it out and don't care to. It's when you play the N64 on it the way that's intended, it looks great. You know, of course, when you plug in these old consoles with, you know, AV cables that's outputting such a low resolution on, like, a 65-inch big screen, it's gonna look like dog shit. Well, of course it is. And in this case, these hold up. Like, this is an HDMI, and, you know, like everything else. And I don't understand where this can't be. Something could release to like this today and just be a little more polished up, and I'd be like, that's just fine, that's great, especially with all of the moving parts, all the destruction capabilities of the maps and the world that you're in. Very nice, very nice. It's almost like I need to make a whole video, you know, on that, just stroking that and bringing up how great that is. That's a weapon I was killed with at this point, the 1911, especially that suppressed one. You know, I remember using that pretty regularly, and we're 17-5 here. It's pretty good. I'm like, I'll be honest with you. At this point, I think I tried to use the AK maybe like between 1 and 5 times, you know, during my last year of playing this. So I'm all like beyond me, and I know I recorded this the last session that I ever played Battlefield 3's multiplayer. Also, I can't believe we're saying that. RIP. And it's only a matter of time, too, before, you know, Battlefield 4 and all those other, you know, getting pretty old games, over a decade old now, Battlefields and classic Call of Duties and stuff. It's only a matter of time before those are done. And really, I don't know, like, you could... It's just one of those things, too, where it doesn't even matter, right, if you have the physical media. I have the box, I have the disc, I have it for 2 different consoles. If they shut off the servers, it's like, well, Battlefield, a game franchise not known for its single player, you know, what am I gonna do? It's so weird, too. I wish games would, and developers would implement this so you could have the multiplayer function. Just put in bots. Put in bots. I'm telling you right now, I remember as a boy playing Killzone on the PS2, the multiplayer, by myself all the time, because they had bots. And it gives these games, like, replayability offline, which, again, developers don't care. They don't care about offline play. They don't want you doing that. They want to soak you for every dollar they can get. We're even planting the bomb. Look at that human team player right here. We died. But it's the thought that counts. These developers want to bleed you dry. They don't care if it's buying weapons. They don't care if it's buying skins, different attachments. They want to make sure that everything's monetized. They want you sitting down and playing their game as much as possible, because that just means more profit for them. And not to get all comrade on you, because we definitely will be at some points getting all comrade on you, I assure you. But it's just a shame the video game, and it's everything. It's not just the gaming industry. I'm an NFL fan. I love sports. I love, you know, multiple sports, not just the NFL. You know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of being reminded every few minutes while I'm watching the game that I'm watching, whatever that may be, that you can gamble on that particular game. Okay, great. It's no longer just like, oh, let's go to the casino and make a ridiculous parlay. It's, let's gamble on 4 games in one day that I'm just happen to be watching. Come on, man. I'm sick of it. We work too hard for, let's be real, not enough. You know, like, everybody feels like that, right? It doesn't make you a lot of money or a little money. You're always wishing that you made a little bit more, right? Fun fact, if you ask different economic classes in America, low, middle, high, doesn't matter what, if you asked how much money they would want to live a little bit more comfortably, almost overwhelmingly each class, lower, upper, you know, lower, middle, doesn't matter what, they would say $1,000. Isn't that strange? You know, I always found that a little strange, like a little peculiar. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Battlefield 3. We're talking about the state of video games. We're kind of all over the place, and that's fine because that's what these videos are about. Just kind of archiving, you know, the current moment in time, and as well as Battlefield 3, of course. Which I gotta say, I love this gun. I have shot an AK-47. You know, someone in the family happens to own one, right? So it's pretty awesome to go break that bad boy out. I'm trying to convince them to put wood furniture on it too, because it's got like the, you know, more like tactical style. You know, it's got like the rails on the foregrip and everything, and nothing wrong with that. It's just something about that AK with that wood furniture, man. It looks sweet. Maybe an underfolder stock, get that paratrooper look. I mean, I'm just saying, it's not mine, but I'll give out some advice. That's free. You know, you can take it or leave it. Battlefield 3 will always be one of the GOAT games, and it's for, you know, some of the reasons that I've mentioned in previous videos, and even in this one is playstyle. You know, many playstyles, many ways to tackle every map. Doesn't matter, again, what you're using. As long as you can do it, you can run it. And we're trying to plant the bomb. This is Rush being a team player, and you know what? We actually got that MCOM armed. Let's see what happens, folks. Can we get the clutch win? The last MCOM on the map, Metro. This might be the last Metro game you ever see. You don't know that. I know that. I don't know it, really. But it's okay. I'm just wondering. I'm trying to predict here, you know, how much longer these consoles will last. And I don't know. At least it seems like Microsoft's a little more dedicated to the fans right now. But only time will tell. If you like what you saw, if you like what you heard, 20 and 9, is that what we finished? All right, that's pretty sweet. I'm the Failed Author. Go ahead and subscribe. Thank you again for watching. Have a great rest of your day.